Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy J Rock. Today I'm gonna be hitting you with another hardcover review. Today we're gonna be reviewing this. That's right, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Body Count. Now this is artwork is by Simon Bisley, but the plots and so forth and the writing is by Kevin Eastman. This is I don't know if this is in continuity. This was written back in 1995. I'll do an overhead view and like an overview and then a review talk about the story a little bit. What little bit there is as far as story. Now, this was kind of interesting. I dig the cover, that's why I got it. I like Bisley's art. This was, I believe it was done in 1995, and it was just recently reprinted in 2018 as a hardcover. All right, this is the cover. It says right here, body count, Eastman, Bisley, Casey, and Raph. And that's pretty indicative of what the story's gonna be. It's just gonna be Casey and Raph. You're not gonna get any other turtles. And this is pretty much the art style you're gonna get. Now the coloring is gonna be a little different though. Right here, Eastman Bisley. It says 2018 here, but this story was done back in the 90s. This is just says 2018 because it's this reprint in hardcover was done in 2018. This is the back cover. I freaking dig this cover. This shit looks awesome. Now this girl here, her tits are little too big. They kind of exaggerate. But other than that, the art style itself, I really dig, and it's kind of meant to be exaggerated. Here you see Raphael. He's drawn the way Eastman typically draws them, right? The way the turtles are meant to be drawn. But they talk about this a little bit in the bonus features. We'll get to it when I get there. This is printed by Top Shelf. Look at that art, man. That looks sick. There's mayhem everywhere. Where they're fighting all kinds of people here. You can see Casey Jones's mask. Look how he has these pointy things. It's a lot different. So there are some changes in the characters because Bisley kind of wanted to do things his own way, and they talk about it a little bit in the book where Eastman would tell him kind of like draw the turtles this way, this the way they're meant to be, and then he would kind of take them in his own direction anyways, and then he'll reel it back and make them back the way Eastman wanted. So it was kind of funny how he said they kind of had a difficult time, like a little back and forth with that. Here's the after the cover, the interior art on the covers. This is an awesome two-page spread. I'm digging it. You get this page inside the story as well. See, here's again with this girl. Look at her nipples. They're like, I mean, she could poke somebody's eye out the way this guy draws that, right? But yeah, so that's one of those things that I wasn't that into. But I do like his art in general. Look at here. It's look at the way he draws Raphael with band-aids and so forth, and he gives him these things on his arms, and he gives him pants. See, so I kind of like his interpretation. But Eastman was against it, against Bisley's style, the way he was drawing the turtles. So that's kind of where they would argue about. Look at how he gave him these things too on around the shell, and look at Casey Jones. He gave him a American design, American flag design on his hockey mask. Here we get the creators and so forth. All the info you would need here about when this was printed, who helped it, and so forth. Now see, this is Bisley's art with different coloring. This is more like your average digital coloring, and this is in the mid '90s. So the digital coloring was fairly new at this. Opening pages, we got a bar fight with Casey Jones and some other guy. You see here all the champagne and beer flying everywhere. This fight is brutal, man. Look at all these bumps and bruises, all this blood everywhere. You got a 9 panel grid here, and you have another on this page. You got it's not a 9 panel grid, but you got all kinds of like little small panels. You got a lot of them. Now they do so many panels here because you get to see every swing, like the first kick here, then the counter punch, the facial reaction when he gets hit. This moves along like a movie. Whenever they put 9 panel grids, it feels like a movie to me. And when they have that many panels on one page, I feel that reads a lot better digitally. Like this reads a lot better digitally when you put it on a guide view. When it goes panel for panel, you see the movement almost moving like a cartoon would. In case he joins there. Look at this panel. He just catches his punch. Solid. No, it's very action heavy, like I said. Look at this one, the splash page. Well, it's not really a splash page because you got some panels on the bottom. But man, look at all that blood flying around everywhere. Look at them. This is very grindhouse. Like if you ever seen those movie grindhouse where it's little story and a lot of shooting, a lot of goriness and so forth, or machete. That's how this is. Take a look here on the top right here with that's our one of our main protagonists called Midnight. She's the one that gets the story going. You know, these villains are after her because she used to be a villain herself. And the turtles, Raphael and Casey Jones help her. But look at this panel here, man. That looks badass. Look at that, like a third person video game or something. The way the action moves on this is very explosive. This guy would be good at choreographing action movies for, for Hollywood. But like I said, this one's very gory, a lot of violence, a lot of shooting. Look at right here when Casey Jones is talking to the girl about, what's with Midnight. Talking to the girl Midnight about, what's going on, why are they chasing you? Raph is pissed off because he ain't trying to help her. He's like, she looks like she's no good herself. Just let her fix her own problems, basically, right? Casey Jones wants to help, and look at Raphael, the facial expression Bisley does right here. It's like, blah, you're gonna make me throw up. You're making me sick. Making me sick, big dog. Going get us killed over some girl. Over helping some girl that's, probably brought this on herself to begin with. Which she kinda did. She kinda did that. She was, she was in a gang, and now the gang has turned on her, and her brother is one of the main people in that gang that wants to kill her. Look at this Raphael. Look, he has jeans. He has a jacket. This is kind of Bisley's interpretation. He wants to give him a little bit more realistic take. Got some sneakers. Look at everybody getting lit up, man. Boom. Look at they barely missed Casey Jones, his hat. Look at that. Look at all these people just getting murked. Man. This guy's eyeball. I apologize for the glare right here. If I don't keep that light on, it's gonna look real dark and shitty. So work with me, people. Be patient. Again, here we got all kinds of panels. Like we get a lot of panels here. I read this way and I read it digitally. I found myself enjoying it more digitally when I'm actually reading it, but when I'm just flipping through the pages and so forth, I like flipping through the book. There's something I definitely picked up more for the art than the story. I mean, I wanted to read the story, but once I read it, I go back to it for the art and just the over the top, exaggerated stuff going on. Look at that. Now, this is a very 80s action movie. You know those Arnold movies with a lot of shooting, not a lot of story. It's very much that type of style. Look at this panel here. It's a full page panel right here. Look at all that. This guy's known for being trigger happy. That's the brother chasing after Midnight. Now his name is John Woo. He's an Asian and he's looking for that girl. I found that kind of funny because they said this book, this four-issue storyline, was inspired by the 80s John Woo movies. And then they named their main villain John Woo. As you know, a little wink and a nod type of thing. Look at Raphael right here. He starts picking up some guns and just letting everybody have it. He's all into the guns and then putting on a fireworks show. Then Casey Jones is wearing that mash design of the flag of the United States. So it looks like the 4th of July up in here. You know what I'm saying? And Raphael loves these guns. He's like, oh hell yeah, I could take these guys out from long range. I don't have to waste as much energy and whatnot, right? So he's starting to fall in love with guns. He's like, I could see how they could be useful. Then they have him wearing this hockey mask for this part of the story, kind of like, ooh yeah, us Americans, we love our guns. And look at this guy. He puts his hand through one of the villains and uses them as a shield. Look at that. Why he's shooting up the people and using them as a human shield. Shit is bonkers. It's real over the top, real crazy. Subtle, but it's there where they don't have to over explain it. You kind of get it in one page or two, and you get enough. You get the point where it doesn't have to be. They don't have to beat you over the head with it. About like how basically how some people are for guns, some people are against them. Because you got to read the dialogue. Like he's talking about how he loves them. Then they kind of have some of the characters point out the negatives and having too many guns out there. Now here's Midnight in her new costume. That shit annoyed the hell out of me. It's so tacky and it's like it's so try hard. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like when they do that. Like, I'm not a big fan of Vamparella's costume. It's the reason why I don't read her books too much. I don't mind the girls looking sexy. I kind of like it, but I don't like when it's like real try hard, real like forced. This is the panel we see in the beginning. Here in color, it looks pretty good. I'm digging it. Here you also get to see, in case you're wondering, it's so non-binding, so it'll hold up pretty good. You know, it's not glued or anything. I mean, look at that art. It's a lot of dark shades. It can look cartoony at times. I kind of like it when they go heavy on the inking. It makes it look more gritty and a little more dark. Here's some of the covers. Look at the covers with that different coloring. That'd be cool if the interiors had this coloring. There's another one of the covers. Oh, we saw that one. Some of the bonus material. Another cover right there. Now look at here at this high-speed chase. Now Bisley's high-speed chase scenes, the way he draws them, the way he moves the action, it's some of my favorite. The another one I really like was Bill Sienkiewicz. I was reading some of his Shadow, and his artwork, the way he did the high-speed chase scenes was awesome. It really felt like an action movie. Summer blockbuster type of high-speed chases. Look at this. All these explosions back here. See the car. Look at over here when he has them spinning out of control and so forth while they're shooting them. This looks badass. He finds a way to make these chases look exciting. Sometimes you read them in other books and they're very bad. Here they look good, man. They look real good. Look at that right there. You gotta really, like I said, you see it moving there, then you see it flying off. You really, when you put this in panel for panel and just focus on one panel, then on the next, I think it adds so much to it, especially on these car chase scenes. They look so dynamic when you're going, when you just focus on that panel and you don't let the rest of the art on the page distract you, and you really focus on it. It really makes it move a lot more smooth. Sipping on this Bisley seltzers. There's a good flavor, black cherry and lime. I'm digging this one. I think it might be my favorite one at the moment. All right, so I know we got a lot of Bisley fans out there. We got a lot of TMNT fans out there. And they did a lot of collaborations. They really enjoyed working together. So they did a lot more of this. And I look forward to eventually reading the rest. I don't think they have hardcovers of the rest, but I'm sure I could find them fairly easy digitally. This book, is it worth the read? I think it's worth reading once. It doesn't have a lot of rereading value to it because there's not a lot of story there. Like I said, it's just basically a girl trying to get killed or kidnapped by this gang, and they're trying to stop them. Pretty typical storyline we've seen a million times. It's just one long chase. It's not always a car chase. Sometimes it's on foot, but it's one long chase trying to get her and then trying to stop them. It's worth flipping through over and over for the art because it's pretty cool. Once you read the story once, you could just flip through the art and you know already everything that happens because there's not a lot of dialogue that's important. So even if you forget the dialogue, it won't matter. You'll get the gist of the story just by flipping through the pages. Some people like the physical copies. I'm a little bit right now. I'm digging digital. I've been using it, and I also like the hard copies. So I'm digging both. This I do like this artist, so there's something I'll probably keep just for the art and to occasionally flip through the pages once in a while. But it's not like a must-have or anything. You could just read it digitally once, and you'll be just as satisfied. Like I said, I read this on the book before, and I read it digitally, and I found myself really liking it more when I was reading on panel view, guided view, when it goes from panel to panel, because you really it's like that with Tom King as well. You really see the action move slowly from one panel to the other. It kind of reminds me of, back in the days, they used to have those little booklets that have drawings of a cartoon, and you flip through all the pages and you see the cartoon move. It kind of does that when you go from panel to panel. You start seeing a move like that as you go on to the next panel. So I kind of found that pretty fun on the computer. All in all, I mean, look at this. Look at that, man. that's enough just to pick it up. This is what got me to pick it up. I saw that, I was like, you know what, I gotta check that shit out. So yeah, it's worth to read at least once. The story wise is probably like a 4, but the action scenes and the art and so forth, it's probably like I'll give the art and so forth like a 7. So yeah, guys, hope you like the review for today, and hope if you have any questions about the physical build on it, I mean it's so non-binding, but I mean it's not a thick book, and it's a sturdy hardcover. It goes for $30 US cover price. You can find it online for about 22, 23. I think that's what I paid for this one. So yeah, guys, like I said, any questions or whatever, leave them in the comment section. If you read it, let me know what you think about it, and I'll just check you guys out on the next video.